I do have a problem if you're brandishing a weapon at somebody and then you brandish it again and you fire into a vehicle. Is that not true? Is that not what happened? All right. If it's not what happened, just tell me. Calling 2024 CR 6690 State versus Jason Bustos. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state? You can move down to the other end. All right. And are you Jason Giovani Bustos?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You entered a plea on January 13th to count one guilty. The state waived count two without objection. You applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The state opposes your application for deferred adjudication, and there's to be restitution and no contact to the complainant. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report
We have, Judge.
and the TAP evaluation?
We have.
Any objections?
No objections, no corrections or addition.
Any objections from the state?
No, Your
All right. Any witnesses, state?
No,
Defensive
no,
witnesses?
No, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my client, just very briefly.
All right. Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jason Giovani Bustos.
All right. Defense.
Jason, you admitted
Honor.
when you were here, you admitted to probation that you shot your gun at this other person, correct?
Yes.
And this had to do with on a road, you and another vehicle were playing jockey back and forth, correct?
Yes.
And I want to make sure that the other vehicle was a F-150 Ford pickup.
Yes.
Then you had a 95 Ford Ranger, correct?
Yes.
4-speed.
Yes.
And you felt threatened by, is that what you felt threatened by the actions of your driver?
Yes.
You know now, when you carry guns, things like this can happen. You can overreact. You understand that that's not very smart. Right?
Yes.
That's not a smart thing. You overreacted.
Yes.
Have you learned a lesson?
I did.
You think that you could be successful on probation?
Yes.
A lot of reporting, drug testing, fines to pay, community service, maybe some gun safety classes. Think you can be successful in that?
Yes.
You have a drug problem?
I do not.
Pass a witness.
All right. Any questions?
Mr. Bustos, so I mean, you stated that you felt threatened by the other drivers on correct?
Yes.
But the encounter that you had with them, it wasn't a short encounter, right? It went on for several miles, correct?
Yes.
And so at any time during that period where you guys are going back and forth with each other, did you ever think to call 911 and to report that you were going to drive the behavior of this other individual?
I did not have a phone at the time. Present.
And so, I mean, there are multiple streets where you could turn off or just went into a business and park. Did you do any of that?
No, there was heavy traffic during the whole entire incident.
Okay.
My first thought would be going towards the HEV that was right across from the highway, and I couldn't make it across due to just traffic flowing through.
Okay. And so there was heavy traffic in the area for testimony. So the way that you need to reconcile this is to fire a firearm twice. That was your reaction, right?
That was after when I got away from several of from the heavy traffic.
Okay. So why didn't you choose to get away from the other vehicle if you felt threatened by that?
I did try to get away from the vehicle.
But then you still followed them and shot.
I didn't follow them.
You did not follow them?
No, I was being followed the whole entire time.
Okay. But in the stipulated evidence, it says that the other four was taking the turnaround, right, when you fired into the vehicle, correct?
No.
So, okay, tell me about that.
When I took the turnaround, there was an HEV. The entrance to that HEV was very close to the turnaround. So instead of proceeding, I decided to go straight. When I went straight to the first light, I decided to go on a right-hand turn lane, and I noticed that the truck was still following me. Once I noticed that, and I checked my rearview mirror, he was already trying to try to jump over the curb to get to where I was headed towards, and I was trying to avoid just a confrontation from him. So instead, I proceeded to go straight. When I got off the right hand turn lane, I went straight when the light turned green to the other light, and I didn't even make it halfway until I almost got into an accident just from trying to drive away. My truck stalled, and that's when I noticed the driver was still proceeding and started tailgating, driving recklessly, maneuvering through cars through the traffic that I left behind. So from there, he caught up to me, and that's when I got scared and overreacted.
Okay. And so I want you to help me understand this, because in your interview that you gave with Detective Brand, it says that you stated that during some of the swerving that you catched up to the other Ford, and that's when the truck slowed down and tried to cut you off. And then
That was in the highway.
that's when you exited and took a turnaround, and then that's when you shot into the other truck. So on the highway, if you had an opportunity to catch up to him, why didn't you just go somewhere else? Did you think that your response was reasonable to shoot into his vehicle?
No, it wasn't.
Let me follow up. I'm well familiar with the location. I live out there. When you exited at the Leon Springs exit,
Yes.
Bernie Stage Road. When you exited there to do the turnaround, it's up a ways and there's no place to turn off. It's a service road. It's
Yeah.
very heavily trafficked. And you make the turnaround, there's an HEB on the right-hand side, but there's like 3 lanes there when you do the turnaround. There were 2 or 3 lanes to be able to pull into HEB.
Yeah.
Correct. There's too much traffic. As there always is on service road. Correct. So you continue straight. Is that
Yes.
correct? And your truck is a Ford Ranger or 4-cylinder.
Yes.
When they're talking about catching up with the individual she brought up, did you accelerate to try to catch up?
Not accelerated.
What did you mean by trying to catch up or catching up with them?
What happened was, as we were driving forward
On
10, he left it alone. I left it alone. I didn't do anything about it. There's no reason for me to catch up. I can't even catch up.
No, yeah, I understand.
Not against with the truck that has 8 cylinders against a Ford 4-cylinder truck. Anyway, I noticed from about a quarter mile, he's already tailgating another vehicle, but then again he starts to pull back dramatically.
Okay. What do you mean by you caught up with him? What do you mean?
I mean that
Were you trying to catch up with him?
I
or
wasn't
just
trying to
the flow of traffic, you ended up getting ahead of it.
yeah.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, so
Judge,
this
I may
is,
just say this one thing,
yes,
if I may.
well, just one second, because I want something cleared up for me. In the report, I'm reading the synopsis, and this is what the synopsis says in the stipulations. It says that the complainant was in his personally owned vehicle. The suspect was in his vehicle, and the suspect began to brake check him on the interstate. I understand brake checking people because sometimes people are riding your bumper. I understand that. I think it's crazy to do that, but I understand why people brake check, say, hey, quit riding my bumper. So that's not the problem for the court, that you were brake checking him. It says that the complainant decided to pass you and continue on his way. So what the synopsis so far is saying is that you were brake checking him, I guess, because he was riding his bumper. And then the complainant decides, you know what, I'm just going to pass this guy. So it says that he passes you, then you caught up to him, pulled up next to him, didn't fire your weapon, but exhibited your weapon to him, and then got in front of the complainant and started brake checking him again. That's where I have a problem. I can understand you're driving. Maybe the speed limit is 60. Sometimes people will be in what's called the fast lane on the freeway, and they're going below the speed limit, which is a no-no. But let's say the speed limit is 60, you're going 50 or 55, who cares? You're going less than whatever. Or maybe this person is speeding behind you. So they're behind you, they're riding your bumper, which people do, which they shouldn't do, because that doesn't give you time to stop if you need to stop immediately. So this person says, you start brake checking them. So I'm sure tempers are high. His temper is high. I know the complainant was probably upset, probably said a few choice words. And then the complainant gets from behind you because you're brake checking him and speeds past you. Maybe he gestured towards you or whatever, but he doesn't pull a weapon. So he speeds past you. That should have been the end of it. Maybe you get on the phone. You say you didn't have your phone, but maybe you memorize his license plate and call the police and say this person is recklessly driving. But he says what happens is you don't do that. After you brake check him and he decides to pass you, you then catch up to him and exhibit your weapon. That's a no-no right there. And then it says, then the complainant, instead of him just calling the police after you pulled your weapon at him, he pulls out his phone to start videotaping you. And then what he does, after you pulled out your gun and exhibited at him, he starts filming you on his phone. And then he starts chasing after you in his vehicle to film you. And it says he continues to follow you. And then they both took the turnaround at Bernie Stage Road and went on the access road. And it says that the complainant then continued to record you. And then you both got off at the 20,000 block of Interstate Highway 10. And then you came to abrupt stop as the complainant passed you on the left. And then when he passed you on the left, it says you started firing with your automatic handgun. And it says that the complainant was still filming on his cell phone when this occurred. So is somebody saying those are not the facts? Because that's what I'm reading.
The last part, Your Honor, from what I can remember, is he did not pass me up. He just stopped after I stopped.
Mhm.
I stopped just to make sure he can continue going.
So did you brandish your weapon more than once? Did you brandish your weapon at him first and then brandished it later throughout this incident and then shoot it?
I brandished it once,
And when you brandished it, you fired it.
only on the second time.
Okay, so then you brandished it more than one time. What the synopsis is saying, and don't feel that you have to agree with me. I'm just saying what's in the synopsis. What the synopsis is saying is you brake checked him. And then after you brake checked him, he went around you and passed you. You brandished a weapon. You didn't fire it. He gets upset that you're brandishing a weapon. So then he starts following you and filming you. And then you all meet up and you fire bullets into his vehicle. So is that not true? Is that not what happened?
Yes, Your Honor, that is what happened.
All right. If it's not what happened, just tell me. I'm here trying to figure out what the appropriate sentence is. But I do have a problem if you're brandishing a weapon at somebody, right? And then later you brandished it again. There's a gap in time for tempers to cool. And then you brandished it again and you fire into a vehicle. Did you know how many people were in that vehicle? What if there were children in that vehicle? In their in their car seats, because you really can't see when babies are in car seats. People could have been killed. And then if you would have been a good shot and you would have killed him, maybe he would have crashed in other vehicles and somebody else would be dead. So you wanted to say something, counsel, or is there any other questions for him?
No, just something, an argument.
Sure.
Two things. One is 95 Ford Ranger, my wife, although she drives a new car, has a 96 Ford Ranger,
Mhm.
6-cylinder. She uses for hauling plants, shrubbery,
Mhm.
rocks, dirt.
Mhm.
Ford Ranger does not have a lot of pickup. Well, it has a limited speed it will go.
Mhm.
An F-150, it doesn't have a lot of acceleration. An F-150 has got a lot of acceleration.
Mhm.
So we've got a small car and a large car. I don't know what happened, but I'm saying there's a difference there. And the 150 ought not be picking on the smaller guy, if in fact that was what he was doing. Second off is there's questions about why don't you call the police? I don't want my wife going down H10 and getting off on the service road going at 50 and 60 miles an hour, getting on a cell phone and making a phone call.
Oh, well, what I can tell you, counsel, the whole thing about calling the police, that's not the big issue for the court.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, okay.
And I think he understands what he made a mistake. Also, I think he's had some mental health issues. He took medicine. They got him back on medicines in the jail. He has no prior criminal record. He had a job. He was productive before this happened. There's nothing in the record that says this would be a reoccurring type thing that I can see. Once he's learned a lesson, give him a chance on probation. I'm asking the court to give him a chance on probation.
All right, state.
Maybe even have some mental health treatment if the court thinks that's needed.
Judge, we're asking that you deny this application to be sent to years in prison. When you define, I think, the defendant had a, even up reading, denied having a further but the evidence that was stipulated to is problematic. That's every driver's worst nightmare, to be fired upon while they're just driving down the highway. I know. And my point about bringing up whether he called 911 or not was that he had a sufficient time to cool down or pull over and retreat, and he did not. He decided to engage and brandish his weapon one time and then fire it twice into that truck. And, we lucky that he didn't have better in him because he would be here for a different charge if that were the case. And so for those reasons, we're asking him.
All right, is there any objection to the restitution of $250 to the complainant for that's his deductible?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. I'll ask for the therapeutic community based on the mental health. And I do understand, based from reading the synopsis, what was going on with both parties. And there was bad behavior on both sides. But Mr. Giovani, this is not a probation case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's to be no contact with the complainant and $250 to the restitution to the complainant. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
When we did all this, you don't have a right to do.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, we can go off the record. So I gave you something less than what the state requested because of the facts of your case. You're going to have to get a control of your anger, and you're going to have to start making better decisions. A gun should not be the answer to every issue that comes up. All right, good luck to you.
And he gets credit for time served, right?
Yes.
Today's courtroom case starts with what appears to be a road rage incident, but quickly turns into something far more serious. Jason Giovani admitted that he became involved in a confrontation with another driver, felt threatened, brandished a firearm, and ultimately fired into the other vehicle. But as Judge Stephanie Boyd carefully reviewed the facts, one question became impossible to ignore. After having multiple opportunities to walk away, why did the confrontation continue? The judge challenged Giovani's version of events, pointing out the repeated escalation, the weapon being displayed, and the decision to fire despite the danger to everyone around him. His attorney asked the court for probation, emphasizing his clean record and personal circumstances. But after hearing both sides, Judge Boyd made it clear that this was not simply a mistake behind the wheel. The defendant was hoping to avoid prison. Instead, the judge delivered a sentence that showed just how seriously the court viewed the decision to turn a road rage confrontation into a gunfire incident. Let's get into the case and see exactly how it unfolded.
Calling 2025 CR 010259, State versus Trent Deckert.
Yes.
Can I have parties announced?
Will Brooks, the defendant, Mr. Deckert, Judge.
And are you Mr. Deckert? Did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes and yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Deckert, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Mr. Deckert, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with assaulting a peace officer or a judge. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Deckert, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishments be assessed at $1,000 fine. The state recommends deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with 2025 CC 008849. There's to be restitution, if any, to the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, it is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No motions, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is asking that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be 150 hours of community service restitution and the MRT. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
No objections to states one or attachments, Judge.
All right. And state, have you had a chance to speak with the complainant? All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, no problem. I'm reviewing the documents.
Okay.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We'd waive a PSI interview, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, the only thing that I would request is in respect to the TAP evaluation and in the interest of saving resources, he went on probation for the misdemeanor in July, and they completed a TAP, I think, a month ago or so. So I would just ask that the TAP be considered rather than having him redo a TAP.
All right, Ms. Abrams, are you able to consider that as the TAP evaluation? I'm sorry? Yes.
About a month ago.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so what happened on this night?
It was just a bad night. Car was breaking down. Recently went through a breakup with the carry on there, and I just went over there and caused a ruckus, trying to get a little help, but she ended up calling the cops on me. One thing led to another. Thought I could run, couldn't. I just had an injury. I broke my leg though a couple weeks before riding. I participate in rodeo.
All right, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Isn't it a little bit too old to, when somebody breaks up with you, everything goes in a handbasket?
Everything was, falling apart within a week or two of that, So, it just wasn't a good night, and don't plan on ever having another bad night again.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a restitution date in 30 days, please.
Yes, sir. You can do 2 for 16.
All right, we're going to come back on December 16th to determine if there's any restitution that is owed to the complainant. 4 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, $1,000 fine probated. This is run concurrent with 2025 CC 008849. Restitution, if any, to the complainant. Follow TAP recommendations that have been completed under 2025 CC 008849. Do you have any children?
No.
And your job is rodeo?
No, ma'am. I work full-time construction right now.
All right, proof of employment within 45 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. The MRT. And there's to be no contact with the Vantage at Fair Oaks apartment. And there's to be field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. Probation, is there anything else?
No, sir.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you and be careful in the rodeo.
Yes.
My understanding, a lot of injuries can happen.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Jason Giovani walked into court hoping for probation, but Judge Stephanie Boyd had other plans. The transcript shows a terrifying road rage escalation, brake checking, brandishing a weapon, and ultimately firing into a victim's truck, all while the victim filmed everything on his phone. The defendant claimed he felt threatened by a larger F-150, but the judge exposed the truth. He had multiple chances to drive away, but chose to engage, brandish his gun twice, and shoot. Despite his clean record, Judge Boyd delivered a crushing blow. This is not a probation case. She sentenced him to 4 years in prison and destroyed any hope of freedom. And that brings us to the end of this case. Jason Giovani came into court, hoping the judge would give him a chance on probation, but Judge Boyd focused on the choices that were made after the initial road rage confrontation. The judge acknowledged that there was bad behavior on both sides, but she ultimately found that Giovani had opportunities to disengage and instead chose to continue the confrontation, brandish a weapon, and fire into the other vehicle. Her message was clear. A gun cannot be the answer every time a situation gets out of control. In the end, the court sentenced Giovani to 4 years in prison, with credit for time served, along with a deadly weapon finding, restitution, and a no-contact order. The sentence was less than what the state had requested, but probation was completely off the table. This case is a powerful reminder of how quickly road rage can escalate, and how one decision made in anger can completely change the course of someone's life.